Alright, let's break this down and dive deeper into the mess that is Meghan Markle's latest venture. Confessions of a Female Founder isn't just any podcast, it's a carefully curated illusion. If you thought it would be a genuine exploration of female entrepreneurship, think again. It's like opening a box of chocolates and finding nothing but stale candy. The hype is real, but the substance? Not so much. From the get-go, we're hit with the polished PR machine that is Meghan Markle. This isn't the raw, unfiltered discourse you'd expect from someone who claims to be a champion for women. Instead, it feels more like a glossy brochure for a brand that's trying to sell you a lifestyle rather than actually educate or inspire. The premise sounds promising, confessions from successful female founders, but you quickly realize it's more about Meghan's self-promotion than anything else. Let's talk about the production quality for a second. It's worth noting that this podcast isn't even recorded live. That's right, no real-time interaction, no authentic exchanges of ideas. Just Meghan's voiceover layered over pre-recorded segments. This setup screams I'm too busy to engage, which raises a lot of questions. If she's so dedicated to empowering women, why not take the time to engage in meaningful, live conversations? Is it because she's more interested in controlling the narrative than actually connecting with her guests? And it's not just the format that's questionable. The content itself is riddled with red flags. Meghan's guests are predominantly women she's invested in, making you wonder if this is really about their stories or merely a vehicle for her to promote her financial interests. It's hard to take this podcast seriously when it feels like a glorified infomercial for businesses she has a stake in. What happened to authenticity? Instead of diving into the struggles and triumphs of real female entrepreneurs, we get a series of pre-packaged narratives that seem more like sales pitches than heartfelt confessions. Let's not forget the latest episode with Mendoza. The episode kicks off with Mendoza discussing her struggles fitting in during her school years. Sure, it's relatable, but then it veers off into this bizarre narrative about living in a California commune. Instead of unpacking Mendoza's entrepreneurial journey, Meghan hijacks the conversation with her own anecdotes. Who cares about her feelings when we're supposed to be focusing on the guest? It's a classic case of look at me overshadowing the actual story. And here's where it gets even more absurd. The parallels Meghan tries to draw between her life and her guests' experiences. She seems to believe that because she faced some difficulties in high school, she can relate to every female founder's struggle. But let's be honest, can we really compare her experiences to those of women who have navigated the tough landscape of entrepreneurship? It feels disingenuous, almost patronizing. Every time she chimes in with "I know how you feel," it's like a reminder that she's more concerned with her narrative than the guests' journeys. Then there's the issue of ethics. Clever Blends, the company owned by Mendoza, has faced scrutiny over sourcing practices. So how can we trust that this podcast is genuinely promoting ethical business when the roots of some of these companies are questionable? Meghan seems to be building a brand on the backs of these women while ignoring the potential issues surrounding their businesses. It raises a serious question. Is she more interested in her image and profit than in the integrity of the brand she's promoting? And let's talk about the audience reaction. People are not buying into this facade as easily as Meghan might hope. The criticism has been loud and clear. Listeners are calling out the lack of authenticity, the scripted nature of the conversations, and the blatant self-promotion. It's almost comical how out of touch this podcast feels with the very audience it claims to empower. Instead of sparking meaningful conversations, it's more like a PR stunt that's fallen flat. Let's give credit where it's due. Meghan Markle has certainly mastered the art of self-promotion. She knows how to create a brand around herself, and this podcast fits neatly into that strategy. But at what cost? When the foundation of your platform is built on shaky ground, how long can it last? How long until listeners grow tired of the same old recycled stories wrapped in a shiny bow? In the end, Confessions of a Female Founder serves as a glaring reminder of the performative nature of celebrity culture. It's a reflection of how far removed some public figures are from the realities of everyday people. While Meghan attempts to position herself as a beacon of female empowerment, the execution feels hollow. Authentic connections, real struggles, and meaningful conversations are sacrificed for a polished image and a marketing strategy. So, the next time someone tries to convince you that Meghan Markle is a hard-working entrepreneur, just remember the truth behind the curtain. Her guests record solo, her interviews are scripted, her content is self-serving, and she's recycling old tricks from her Spotify days. It's lazy, it's disingenuous, and the world is catching on. Meghan may continue to cash in, but the facade is crumbling. Classic Markle, indeed. So, buckle up, because the ride isn't over yet, and we're just getting started with this saga.